1% or 155 billion naira from 1.358 trillion naira distributed to the 3 tiers July. LG states, LGs share
1.23 billion naira.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Figure, you know, that's what someone called it this morning. It's mere figure. What do all this translate to?
Well, that's the main
but then you
question.
can never tell. If you're not inside government, you won't know what government spends all these things on. But then people love to see. When people hear figure or they see figures, they want them translated to
results.
Or translate to results, you know, in terms of social amenities, infrastructure, and all that, you know.
Well, I'm hoping that local government gets its duly allocated.
Well, everybody's warming up for that. You know, local government elections around the corner.
Exactly.
And there is a lot of frenzy around the local government election now because
considering the new structure in place.
The new structure, that you know, chairmanship offices of local governments in Nigeria are going to be men of dignity. Fight
against the rising challenge of maternity. Maternity leave in the state, mortalities in the state, I beg your pardon. The wife of the state governor, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, disclosed this while flagging off the pilot phase of rural maternal health emergency transport service at the Odeda local government area of the state. The initiative, a collaboration between the state government, Emergency Response Africa, and other development partners, aims to ensure that pregnant women in rural areas receive the required emergency service without delay. Mrs. Abiodun noted that maternal mortality is unacceptably high, with approximately 830 women dying from pregnancy or childbirth-related complications worldwide every day. 830 women dying from pregnancy and other childbirth-related complications worldwide. That's a huge statistic.
It's a huge one, and this is a good one from the state government, especially from the wife of the governor. Maternal mortality is quite a very sensitive issue, especially in the rural areas where there is low education and all that.
Yeah,
and it's good that the state government is beaming its searchlight in that direction, you know, to make sure that we bring it down to a considerable level. Okay, from there, let's quickly take this one. We actually spoke about this a while ago. It's about the environment, and the federal government on Tuesday alerted Nigerians on the water release from the Lagdo Dam in Cameroon. This dam again, you know. The federal government made this known in a statement by the Director General, Chief Executive Officer, Nigerian Hydrological Services Agency, Umar Mohammed. The statement noted that the authorities of the dam will initiate controlled water releases starting Tuesday, September 17, 2024, adding that the water discharge is anticipated to progressively escalate to 1,000 metric tons per second over the next 7 days, based on the inflow from the upstream Garua River. Okay, so states.
The warning is out now.
It's out, and states that are close to Cameroon.
Yes.
Like Cross River. Cross River is close to Cameroon. I think Benue is also close to Cameroon.
And there's those people also, they are prone to flood and on all of that.
And if water comes from, you know, those areas, it could come onto Edo. Edo is getting ready for elections this Saturday.
Trust me, there's enough fire in that state, so no water can actually cause any harm in the state. But yeah, you're right.
There's this for water to go to Edo, to quench the fire.
There's so much fire in that state, to be honest. All right, we now move now to the Central Bank of Nigeria. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has said that fuel subsidy removal, lower import bills, and increased external debt servicing obligation could pose downside risk for the growth of external reserves by 2024 and 2025. CBN disclosed this in its monetary credit, foreign trade and exchange policy guidelines for fiscal years of 2024 and 2025. However, the Apex Bank, in its outlook, projected a positive economic output growth in Nigeria by 2024 and 2025 based on the continued policy support in the agriculture and oil sectors. reforms in the foreign exchange market as well, and the effective implementation of the Finance Act of 2023 and the 2022 to 2025 medium-term national plan development. In addition, the sustained monetary policy tightened by the central bank across advanced economies increases the risk of capital outflow. CBN again.
Yeah.
I suppose the projections are right, considering the removal of this fuel subsidy. A lot of sectors in Nigeria are trying to gain their balance. And from the look of things now, if care is not taken like they projected, we might run into a lot of debt before the end of this year. We're already in the last quarter of the year.
Someone suggested this morning that the subsidy that has been removed should be, taken to Dangote refinery by federal government to subsidize distribution of fuel from that refinery to Nigerians. That may sound simplistic, but it's also it makes a lot of sense. If rather than just hearing that subsidy has been removed and we're not really seeing the effect, I think there is the central place of petrol in Nigeria. With the role it plays.
Yeah, it does.
If petrol is quite cheap in Nigeria, a lot of problems will be solved.
Of course.
Because it's quite central to our economy, and that's why I actually gave my nod to that suggestion. Because sometimes when it comes to all these matters, you don't understand when it comes to economy. I don't know. They just come with figures and all of that and those terminologies.
Trust me, even the experts right now are scared of what we have in Nigeria.
Anyway,
and it calls for extra efforts.
Okay, let's move on. This is the last one from me. This is education. The federal government has announced that the 115 federal unity colleges in the country will soon be unbundled into basic and secondary schools. The Minister of State for Education, Dr. Yusuf Sununu, made this known during the opening of the annual general meeting of principals of unity colleges in Abuja on Thursday with the theme, Entrepreneurship Education, a Panacea for Self-Reliance and National Development. Sununu stated that the plan to unbundle the unity colleges aligns with the national policy on education. The minister explained that the unbundling of federal unity colleges will, among other things, attract more funding to improve infrastructure, address teachers' welfare, and create employment opportunities.
I saw the news yesterday, but it wasn't really entirely clear when I read it.
I am yet to also understand the drift of this, because if you say you're bundling them to become 115, is it primary school? And I don't know. They run the same system, GSS, SS, and all that. So I don't understand what the federal government is trying to do here.
Well, I think it's still going to be the same structure, 4-3-3-1, no, 4-3-3-4, I don't know how.
No, 6-3-3-4.
Right, I think it's still going to be the same, nothing has really changed.
Anyway,
maybe just to cope the expenses from these schools that are managed by the government.
We'll wait and see. Is that the last one?
No, really, I have the last one here.
Okay.
The Central Bank of Nigeria has resolved to maintain a 5% limit on ways and means advances to the federal government for the 2024-2025 fiscal years. This decision directly counters the recent amendment passed by the National Assembly, which sought to increase the borrowing limit from 5% to 10%. This information was contained in the Apex Bank Monetary, Credit, Foreign Trade and Exchange Policy for 2024 and 2025, published on Tuesday, which shed light on the bank's fiscal strategies amid rising economic pressures. Ways and means advances refers to temporary loans the CBN provides to the federal government to bridge fiscal deficits in the country.
Okay, that's the last one.
Yes, that's the last story.
Okay, our time is far on, on this program this morning, and so